Thank you. Shabbat Shalom, and you're welcome to the Shabbat of this morning. The parasha that we're talking about this morning is Lekh-Lekha, to go out from your old way. That's as I was just saying, and I give it a little subtitle. The subtitle of this morning is Brit Milah and what is in a name. Brit Milah. That is what we're going to base our discussion about this morning. Brit Milah, right? The circumcision. What is circumcision? And again, what is in a name? Your name is very important. And we can see what God did to who? To Avraam by changing his name, and to Sarai, his wife, by changing her name to Sarah. So it is very, very important for us to understand what our sages, what our wise men are telling us concerning what is in a name. You see, your name is your essence. It's not only the means of identification. No. Yes, it's a means for identification, but it's your essence. When you die, you have nothing left than a name. After you, what stay after you is your name, nothing else. You see, you can say, oh, I have mansions, I have private jets, I have this and that. Oh, all those will perish. Right? The only thing that stay eternal is your name. We hear the name Abraham. Hey, I'm the son of Abraham, right? Everybody's happy. Okay. If I hear another name, if I ask another name, Hitler, oh, no, everybody wrong, right? Because you know what it stands for. See, your name is who you are after everything is concluded. Your name. You hear the name Yeshua. Yeah. You know, name is very important. So, and we're going to talk about that this morning. But don't forget, our topic is Brit Milah and what is in a name. Such shall be the covenant between me and you and your offspring to follow, which you shall keep. Every male among you shall be circumcised. And God said to Avraam, as for your wife, Sarah, you shall not call her Sarai. You shall call her name Sarah. I will bless her indeed. I will give you a son by her. Okay? I will bless her so that she shall give rise to nations. Rulers of people shall issue from her. The book of Bereshit, the book of Genesis, chapter 17, verse 9 to 16. You see, all those things are written there. You can read it. Perhaps no commandment in the Torah is more difficult, more divisive, and more perplexing than circumcision. It is possible for feminism to save it, to inject into this male covenantal ceremony some sense of shared meaning than other named joke and awkward silences. You know, because we have in the world that we live today, it's all about what? Feminism, right? No. The men are dominating the women. The men are pressing down the women. You see, that it is in the province that we live. They say, you cannot change your name. The woman cannot change her name. She has the right to complete it. But do you ask the women, if I want to change my name, do I have the right to change my name? No. It's all about fanaticism. That is the point. What if a woman say, you know what, I want to change my name? The government put their mouth in what does not concern them. The government put their nose in what is not their business. This is a family issue, right? The family can decide what they want. The woman can say, I want to change my name to my husband's name. It's none of their business. That's my right. Or the man can say, I want to change my name to my wife's name. The man has the right. It's my right, I can do that. Right? But why should you put your nose to what does not concern you? Say, no, this is the law. You cannot change your name because it's a kind of men's domination. It's a kind of macho. No. The woman has the right to change their name if they want. And the man can have the right to say, I want to change my name to my what? To my wife's name. So to me, as a rabbi, I think it is not the area where the government should put their nose. This is social thing. The family has the right to decide what they want. Like now, they tell you, you must take COVID vaccine. But the same people tell you the law that a patient has the right to refuse the medication. And now, if I refuse COVID vaccine, I cannot walk. Where is the sense? They turn the truth upside down. So you make a law and you are going against that law that you made yourself. A patient has the right, that's the rule. A patient has the right to refuse medication and the doctor can say nothing. It's my right. So now I don't have a right when it comes to COVID. Where's the sense? So this is what I am telling us individually, that these people, they don't even know what they are doing. They mix everything together and turn it into a soup and give it to us as a people. Say, drink it, not with choice, by force. That's what the issue is. And the farmer said, this is a democratic world. We are free. You are not free, my friend. You are living in bondage. That is the sense. So let's see. Perhaps if we allow ourselves the power of modern midrash and expand our understanding of symbolism and metaphor in the ceremony, scholars all agree that circumcision may be one of the most ancient tribal practices we have recorded. We know from Torah and other sources that Egyptians, the Ammonites, the Edomites, and the Moabites are all practice circumcision. They all practice it. Even though the oldest form is the one in Egypt, before Avraam, before Israel, the Israelites begin to practice circumcision, they be practiced long time ago. But we need to understand what is the purpose. Why are these people doing it? Why are they doing circumcision at that time? And what is the difference between their own circumcision and that of Israel? That is one of the most important, the key. See, in those days, people do circumcision for what? For fertility. For the man or for the woman or for them to be able to have children. Or is a kind of a ritual that that go for kind of prosperity. You see, that is to them, that is the key to their gods, right? But in the case of the Israelites, it's a different understanding. Here, God is giving us an insight, using our physical understanding, giving us an insight into the spiritual understanding of why He's giving us what is called circumcision. Circumcision has, God is using one stone to kill several birds. Here, circumcision one is for a man-dominated world to have a kind of restraint. God is saying, okay, I'm going to restrain the man for what he can do and for what he cannot do. Number two, God is saying, with this sign, with this covenant between me and you, remember, most of our covenant is sealed with blood, right? With this covenant that me and you seal, I shall be your God, and your children after you shall acknowledge me as their God, and I will bless and prosper them. And also, remember, thirdly, I will bless you with children. It's also, this part of it is also for what? For fertility. I'm going to bless you. So why is it that our mother, Sarah, cannot have children, but the other woman, Agar, has a child? Let's see what is going on here. Among most, it was done at the marriage or puberty, that is among the other nations, like the Egyptians, the Ammonites, the Moabites, is done when a person is about to get married, or when a person gets married, or when a male child is grown to the age of puberty, as a sacrifice to ensure fertility, as I said. The ancient link between removing the foreskin and marriage may be established in the Torah account of Zipporah and Moshe, when in the book of Exodus, chapter 4, verse 25. After circumcising their sons to ward off supernatural danger, she flings the foreskin, presumably at her husband, and cries, "You are the bridegroom of blood to me," which means Hatan damim in Hebrew. A word to me, a bridegroom of blood. Zipporah was shouting against Moshe. What is the significance in Hebrew manifestation of circumcision? Is the move from adult to infant. Thank you. Thus, the connection of sexuality and fertility are now expanded by the level of spirituality. I'm going to explain. What is circumcision to us as the Hebrew people. Circumcision to us as the Hebrew people is moving an adult actually to an infant. It's the opposite. The people of the world, yes, it looks strange, eh? Okay, I'm giving us Zohar understanding here. The people of the world, right? They think, oh, that having, the other people, having circumcision is graduating from what? From childhood into a what? Into the level of poverty, right? Adult, a man, a macho. But actually it's not. The Hebrew understanding is the opposite of it. Moving a macho into a child. Because macho is not good. Maybe, oh, I can do and do. Pride, self. And that is what God is against. I need to move the mentality of the man from the I can do all things, I can do and undo. And God says, that is not right. That is not the case. The case is for you to become a child. Understanding. And Yeshua gave us understanding very, very well. Yeshua said, you can never enter into the kingdom of God except to become a child. You can't, because the pride is there. The macho is there. Have the power. And God said that is not the case. The organ that gives life, this organ has to be controlled. That's what the Torah is saying. You need to make it like a child, like a baby. You see, our understanding is absolutely different from these people's understanding. The people of the world have a different understanding of what they are talking about, but we, as the Hebrew people, God has given us this understanding, saying that is not the case. It's not about pride. My wife is under my control, right? The women is down, down, down. No. The Torah is the first book that gave the women the right to become level with the man. Can you imagine? In those days, it wasn't like that. And this is the idea of this feminism, and which is not right. Torah never talks about that women are down. Torah brought up the women to the level of the man. That both of you are created equal. The same. But, I say but, your social duty are different. It's not the same. But you are the same equally, but your social different activities are different. The woman is the protector of the home. The man is the defender. Right? A woman cannot say, look at example, their woke understanding. These people woke understanding. Male can become a female. I can change and transgender. Now it's a problem. In the United States, they cannot hire for the military because all of them are transgender. A man walking like this. Is that not an insult? It's craziness. And now, if all of you become transgender, who is going to defend the country? That's the problem. Okay, now, I have the right to become a woman. I'm a woman. Then, the other people can go to war. Me, I sit down and watch. The enemy will come and crush you and kill you. You see, we don't understand that we are shooting ourselves not on the feet, but in the lungs. That's why people have to understand about this woke, stupid ideology. Man created the man. God created the man, and God created the woman. Everybody has their own sphere of activities. The man is the man, the woman is the woman. We cannot. It is not possible for you to change it. And when you try to change it, you're trying to destroy civilization. Man's civilization is based on family. We can't change it. That's the way God has created it. So let's continue. The level of an infant, for us to have respect, for us to become a baby, in order for us to be able to enter into the world to come. The foreskin is the extra piece that defiles. It defiles. It's fruitless. It's useless. It's not useful. Like the uncircumcised fruit of the tree that cannot be eaten for the first 3 years. Remember, when the Israelites entered into the land, God said the fruit tree should not be touched for 3 years. Leave them alone. They're not clean. After 3 years, then you can begin to eat the fruit, right? So it's like that. And that is actually in the Torah, that is called Olah. And Brit Milah, the skin, the first skin of a man, is called Olah. You see what God is saying? God is giving us spiritual interpretation, understanding. Look, see. This is what I'm teaching you. This is what I'm telling you. It is useless. It has no meaning. It is pride. And God said pride is useless. Pride has no, it's nothing. You have to take it away. Macho-ness. It's not good for you. It's poison. It poisons you. Now God is telling us here. So, let's continue. This foreskin thing, it thinks a man. If Israel, one of our sages, one of our elders, he commented, he said, in Genesis chapter 17, verse 5, he said, "Blessed is God who commanded Avraam, our forefather, to circumcise before Sarah got pregnant, that his seed might be purified." You see, blessed is God who commanded Avraam to circumcise before Isaac was born. Because if Sarah had gotten pregnant while Isaac was not born, then we will be like the seed of the world or the circumcised woman, a defiled one. But we thank the Lord our God that we are purified by the power of God. So, moving on. What is woman's relation to the commandment? You know, God is balancing things up. What happens to a man has to have a result for the woman. So, what is the woman relationship to this commandment? A woman has relationship in it. There is what goes for man also goes for woman. So let's see in this case what our sages is talking about. We can ask, what about Sarah? What is the business of Sarah in all this saga that God is commanding Abraham, our forefathers? If the cutting of the genital was meant to ensure fertility, then surely women, Sarah, for whom fertility is the guarantor of status, should have to undergo similar things also. Comprehend? Do you understand? So I repeat, what is it for Sarah here? What does Sarah gain here by Abraham circumcising? If the cutting of the genital was meant to ensure fertility, then surely women for whom fertility is the guarantor of status should have to undergo something similar to. Remember, in those days, a woman can never say, "I'm a woman," without having a child. It's the guarantor of our womanhood. That yes, I have a child. This is my children. This is my son. This is my daughter. This is my child. Because that gives you the power to sit comfortably in your in your husband's home. If you don't have a child, then that family is not stable. Because in those days, 4,000 years, 500 years ago, even 100 years ago, even though in our family now, because in my tradition, I'll tell you, in my tradition back home, if your wife does not have a child, here in the Western world is different. In the Eastern world, it's a big trouble for that woman. The family will pressurize, go and marry another woman, go and marry, they pressurize. Even the man said, "No, I love my wife." The pressure will be so much for the man. They pressurize to go and get another woman. Then they will ask you, "Why are you living with a man?" That is the idea. Because that woman, to them, is a man, because she cannot give birth. But if you look at it very well in the Torah, they are not making a mistake. This is true. And we see what the Torah is talking about here. Right? Because we need to understand the tradition, the culture of the people. For you to be comfortable as a woman in your family house, is your child, is your guarantor. Oh, hallelujah, I have arrived. You need to understand that principle to the people. Because for the people, children are very, very important. Not now that they will tell you, even though let's kill them, let's commit abortion. Don't born. Why are you burning? It's not right for you. Oh, don't you know that these children, they make noise? Oh, even though I've read in the newspaper where a landlord said, "I don't want a family with children because they make noise." What type of landlord is that? Were you not born too by your mama? You see, we have this, I don't know where all these things is coming from. Children are joy. Children are not pain. Children are not, evil. Children are joy to the family. Which we should all combine together and raise them and be happy and shout hallelujah. But in the world that we live in now, it's a different case. So, But what we have to understand here that for Abraham is one thing, for Sarah is another thing. What is it? For Abraham, he has to undergo a physical change. And God has to balance it up. For Sarah, Sarah has to undergo a spiritual change. It's all balanced. Sarah's name has to be changed for her to do what? To conceive. While Abraham has to apply physical action for him to be able to have a worthy child outside. To bring forth that promised child. So both the spiritual and the physical is balanced. And if this mark was a sign of a restrained sexuality, as I will suggest later, then it is even more striking that the ultimate assurance of a female sexual restraint, which people would talking about clitorectomy, is not commanded or sanctioned or even mentioned in the Torah. That is absolutely not right. Because we have people in some, even though in some part of the world, right, that they practice what is that again? Clitorectomy. That is by removing the clitoris of a woman in order to restrain her sexuality. That is not right. It is not commanded in the Torah. That is completely evil. I understand what the men in those days were thinking about. Oh, I don't want my daughter to run around here and there. But you need to understand that does not stop. It is not what you remove that makes your daughter not to run around. It is the value that you put in your daughters. If you don't train your daughters well, even though you remove it, she's still going to move around, right? Run around. But if you put a value in your child, you train your child very, very well, she will follow that path. It is the path that you put a child's leg that matters. It's not what you remove. You see, and that's what me as a rabbi, I am absolutely against that. You can't do that. We do exactly what the Torah has commanded us. So, in this case now, we need to see what is very, very important. Sarah shares in the blessing, but does not have to sacrifice physically for it. If Abraham's circumcision will signal new fertility, then Sarah's name change signal the end of her barrenness. And he will be the progenitor of a multitude of people. So she is, was, or still is now. So here is what I'm saying, that one has to undergo spiritual change, while the other has to undergo a physical change. It is all about balancing of the act. Sarah underwent a spiritual change, while Abraham, our forefather, underwent a physical change. Right? So by so doing, the mathematics, the equation is balanced. So understanding God is a mathematician, and all has to balance out. The male and the female has to balance out. And by saying that Sarah's name has to be changed, and Abraham undergoing a physical change, that, balance the whole things all together. Going from Sarah to Sarah entails dropping one of the letter, which is, in this case, Yud. The Yud in the name of Sarah to as sages, right, to the Kabbalists, is a masculine. It's masculine, right? To our father and to our sages, God removed the Yud and gave Sarah the Hey. The Hey is the feminine. So while Sarah was having the Yud, technically Sarah was like a man. So a man cannot give birth. It is impossible. And God said, okay, this is the trick. And this is what I'm talking about, a name. What is in the name? Your name is your essence. Your name is you. Everything that remains after you is your name. There was a story also that said there was a man, his name was what is called misfortune. That is his name. The mama gave him that name because when he was born, everything was bad in the family. So they gave him that name, misfortune. And that name affected him all his life. Yes. All his life was always misfortune. Oh! Then one day, cram, and an alarm rang in his head. He said, I'm tired of this name. I have to change it. I'm no longer going to call misfortune in my life. I am fed up. He went into prayer and begins to pray. He said, God, I know my mama called me misfortune, but I don't want to be misfortune. I rejected it. I reject it. I don't want it. Give me a good name. Give me another name. And the Torah said, and God had him and listened to him, and God changed his destiny into what? Into positivity. From negative to positive. Your name affects you, my friend. Your name is not only a form of identification. My name is this, my name is that, my name. No, it's not just to identify you. It is your destiny, my friend. It affects you anywhere you go. So it is very, very important for us to give our children good names. In the world now, they come say, oh, the name of my child is 1, 2, 3, 4. Are you out of your mind? How can you give a child a number? And they are proud of it. Hey, it's something new. It's not it's stupidity. There's nothing new in the world. We are seeing it in the Torah, nothing new. How can you give your child a number? I say, oh, I want to be special. You are not special. It's been done. Give your child a good name. But when that child grows, that name affects them. It's a destiny. You know. So therefore, our fathers they also give us a kind of example. If your grandfather, for example, because normally we the Hebrew people would like to name children after our parents, you know. You know that I remember my father. I'm going to give my son the name of my father, right, or the name of my uncle, or the name of my one of my family relatives, you know, who is good to me, and so on and so forth. I've said, if, for example, your dad is not as good as that, I mean, to you, something like that, and you want to name a child after him, for example, he said, remove a letter, change a letter. Try to change. You can give the same name, but change a letter out of it, because you don't want that child to act exactly like your father, you know. So that it's an idea, you know, and we can see it here in the Torah that it is right, that actually it is true, because here God changed, remove instead of limitation. For example, Avraam, the name is, if you want to interpret it, meaning a limitation, right? A father of a group, or of one person. I mean, it's a limitation. But God said, okay, you are not going to be called the father of a limitation. You are going to be what? Unlimited. You see, the father of nations, big, wide. So we can, and Sarah, okay, you are barren. Now you are going to be a fruitful woman. So you can see all those that names actually affect. So. Finally, you can see also the example, some of the example in the Torah. The Hebrew letter He, which with the accent of He underneath, is a symbol of a feminism, feminine, ending as in the example of Yada. Because in English, some translation of the English word, they just put woman, but the Hebrew, we have different between Yada and Nara, right? Yada is like a girl, a little girl, Yada. Why Nara is a young woman. It's a difference between them. But I mean, in English just say a girl, but we have a kind of differences in Hebrew. So, as I said, that the masculine was taken and the feminine was replaced, so that Sarah can have a child. Rabbi in Talmud, in Avodah Zara 27a, there Rabbi Yohanan said, to understand this controversial answer, because there was a question that was asked in the Talmud saying that, okay, can women circumcise? And the answer was yes. So, how can a woman circumcise? Because it is not written in the Torah that a woman should circumcise, right? But in the Talmud says a woman can circumcise. So how do a woman circumcise now? So let's see how the interpretation of the elders. So this is what the interpretation of the elder said. Rabbi Yohanan says, to understand this controversial question, Rashi gave us this understanding. In the book of Genesis chapter 17, verse 13, we have to play with words here. He says, surely one must be circumcised to reap, One who is circumcised, most circumcised. I repeat, one who is circumcised, most circumcised. What is the meaning of this? Okay, because there was asking the question, can a woman circumcise? And the rabbi said, yes, the woman was circumcised. So how? So this is the answer. One who is circumcised was circumcised. So let's look at more deep to explain it. What does it mean? Women are considered one who has been circumcised. Women have been circumcised from the beginning. God has circumcised them from the beginning. They are holy, as I said, holy people. So that's why I tell you sometimes, I told you people sometimes that men sometimes we are dumb. Women, are special. Women are special people. Very, very special. They are so smart that we, comparing to them, they are professors while we are in kindergarten. And that is why God said, and that's why God, the cause of the women, what is the cause of the women when God pronounced the judgment upon them? The cause of the women is this, that you thinking that you are so smart, now this will be your consequence. The dumb one will control you. You see, the dumb one is Adam. Adam is dumb. He doesn't understand anything. Because women are so smart that, they are the crown of creation. Women are the special ones. And God said, because you are so smart, this dumb one will pull you back every time. So that you are not too over smart. That is the sense. That is the cause. That's the cause of the woman. You are going to be under the man. Because your smartness is too much. So that is what you need to understand. That it is true. So because women are already circumcised, they don't need it again, but they have to circumcise. Why? Perhaps simply by the virtue of being an Israelite, simply by the virtue of being the member of the tribe, or perhaps physically through their blood, through their womb, and by the very fact of their anatomy being already open, exposed, and uncovered, as the male genital is after the foreskin is removed. Comprehend? The women are circumcised already because they are open. They are not closed. The man is closed. And the man, for the man to actually be a man, he has to remove that useless part. It's useless. It's nothing. The pride is nothing. The pride is useless. Remove it. The ego, take it away. Because we don't need it. It is not part of us. It's a poison in the system. And the Torah gives us a lot of understanding concerning that. There was a creation, that was a creation that was created. Everything was perfect until pride was found in him. Poison, injustice, unrighteousness, pride, ego was found in that creature. And God sent him out. We need to understand, we don't need pride. Those useless things in our system, that God is using human anatomy to teach us spiritual understanding. So, the male circumcision made men more feminine. That's what Torah is saying. Not more masculine, not macho, but actually control. The circumcision made men feminine. That's what people don't understand. It's the opposite. Because, hey, I'm the man, But God is saying, calm down, my friend. You are not the man. You are the boy. I am the man. You see, God is the man. We are the infant, the baby, his children. So, when God commands us to remove the foreskin, he's actually turning the man into more feminine, into more to be calm. Right? To know his place in creation. To know your place in creation. To understand that it is not only about I that matters in the family, in the home. But we, holistically, we look at the pictures. The Torah always talk about holistic, not singularity. Greek talk about singularity. Hebrew is holistic. Complete picture. It's not about the atom, but the element. So we need to understand that. So, finally, no matter how sensitive we are involved as a man, or no matter how sympathetic we are for a wife, right? A man can never physically partake in the musical encounter of giving birth. Never. It will never happen. And it will never happen. I repeat again, we can be sympathetic to our wives, for the pain of our wife. Oh, we can say, I want to be like a woman. But women are special beings. Women create. They recreate creation. The first primeval creation always happens in a woman. And the woman is attached to that creation. The woman is ready to give her life for that creation. The woman will die for her children to live. A man, my life first. But the woman will never do that. My children are more important. See, so we need to understand. We as a man can try to become, want to be like a woman all our life, but we cannot be a woman, because woman is something special that the way their brain is wired is not the brain the same. Our own brain as a man is wired. So for that, we need to give them credit. We need to give them respect. But they bring us, the men, into life. So, to finish this, circumcision as a symbol of discipline, sexuality, is not wholly new. Therefore, we can say that circumcision functions not only as a ritual initiation, but also as a communal setting of the boundary to male sexuality. So, it is a discipline. Remember, it said that circumcision is also for the control of men mature. You remember the act of that. Okay, I love my wife. That you make love with your wife. You are interested in this is the love I have to my wife, right? But in the other side of our sages said that the act of love is a violent act. It's violent. And God is saying that this act of violence has to be controlled. Your mind and soul it cannot only go into only about sexuality every time. Yeshua said, when you look at a woman and you have a thought in your mind, you've already sinned. Not even go into the act alone. Because in those days, you see that for you to commit sin is going through the act. And Yeshua gave it another step up. No. When you look at it, and you have another thought in your head. Listen, you can appreciate a woman. It is good, which is right. Women are beautiful. I respect them. I love them a lot. Yeah. Remember, but not having the negative thought. But remember, you have your wife at home. So this is what the Torah is saying. That the act of control. That is it. Controlling yourself. Everything is good in life. Nothing is bad. God said, all things I created, God is good. But how do we control ourselves in this? That is action. Or that is what God is talking about, controlling yourself. Having the power not to do what? To say, because I can do it, I'm going to do it. But to having the thought saying, because of God, I don't want to do it. Even though if I can do it. You say, okay? I give us an example every time. Right? I have Agba, coming, she goes out early in the morning to work, okay? And she wakes up every morning around 5 o'clock, for example, to go to work. And near her house is a discotheque. For example, I'm giving an example. Let's say a discotheque, right? And me as a rabbi, as she was coming out to go to work, Agba saw me coming out from the discotheque. Rabbi, go to discotheque. Oh my God, what are you doing discotheque? It's a problem, right? But let's look at it. Abba doesn't understand what I'm doing, what I did inside the discotheque. Maybe I went there to go and fornicate. Or maybe I went there to go and preach the word of God. Two things. But in her mind, she doesn't know, because this to her, this is a discotheque, and the rabbi cannot be found in a discotheque. Period. That is it. So now, because Alba was young in faith, now it's a problem, it's a dilemma. Right? Rabbi Paul said that because of Alba, because I know that Alba lived very close there, I will not go to that discotheque, even though I have the power to go into that discotheque to preach the word of God. I will not do that, because if others see me, others' faith will be destroyed, because she found me in the discotheque. So I have to do what? Restrain myself, because of Avraam. I don't want her to see me in the discotheque, because I don't want her faith to be destroyed. So we need to understand that even though you have the power to do something, but for the sake of God, you say, no, I don't. This is what God is talking about when He talks about the circumcision of a man. Even though you can do all things, God is saying, no, you have to restrain yourself. Everything is all about restraint. So, as for the Hebrew man, finally, we know that the women also every month undergo the process of creation, of recreation, right? And it is as I said last week. You see them, they bleed every month. The women experience life and death every month, which we men does it. But God said, in order to balance this act, we have to experience it once in our life, and that is circumcision too, for the men. For you to understand, even though you are a baby, you might not understand at that time, but you need, your parents have to see your man, your dad and your mama. Normally in our when doing circumcision, the women are not normally there inside, only the men. But for it's a kind of an act that the father is telling the son, look, I'm putting you in this, I'm giving you this sign, I'm putting you in this path, that your organ must be under control. You have to control it. Even though I am putting I produce you, as I put myself in restraint, you also have to put yourself in restraint. It's a teaching that we teach our children, and we make that mark in their physical body for them to understand what the Torah is actually talking about. So women are holy, they are just, they are righteous, so they don't need anything. We the men are the problem. We the men are the ones who are supposed to put things in control. Remember, all going back to Bereshit, Adam said the woman is the fourth. The woman is never the fourth. The fourth is Adam. The commandment is given to Adam. It's never written in the Torah that, and God commanded the woman. No, God commanded Adam. So it is not the fourth, it's not the women. We shouldn't point finger, because all this will point back at us. I am the one in control. I am the one that God will say, oh, Yitzhak, when the time comes, what did you do with the synagogue? What did you do with your family? What did you do with your children? God won't ask my wife or me. So that is the point. I will, oh, no, God, excuse me. Because now I will tell you that I have the right. Excuse me, I raise my hand. What about the woman that you gave to me? Why are you not asking her too? Why asking me? You need to ask her because she's part of it. No, to God, that doesn't work. To God, it's the man. You are the one giving the commandment. You are the one who has to face the justice. When the time comes. So, God, this is what I did, this is what I did. Oh, good job. Welcome. Have a seat and relax. That is it. It's not hard. The Torah is never hard. We make it hard. Men put a lot of jargon, put a lot of things inside and make it cumbersome, so heavy that we cannot lift it and say, oh, it's hard. But the Torah, God make it simple for us. God is not a wicked God. God is a very good God that gave us a good word to keep the Torah. But the Torah, for us, is life. What is in the name? Brit Milah. Parshas, Lekh-Lekha. Shabbat Shalom.